What's the most important quality of a tantric man? The essential quality for such a man is presence. What will make a tantric man follow the path so that he can fulfill his purpose, his dharma, live a meaningful life, contribute something to the world, so that he can be accomplished in meditation and in his inner practices and purify his being, Buddha Shuddhi, as it's called in Tantra, and that he can be a real lover for his beloved. So a lover that doesn't come to take and disappear, doesn't come for a cup of milk and disappears. A lover that doesn't just want a part of his beloved and wants to ignore and isolate himself for his other parts. A lover that is not be just there when he feels like, but will completely assume responsibility on what it means to be in a love relationship and to really take care of his beloved. A lover that can inspire her, that can be inspired by her, a lover that can adore her, that can lift her spiritually and be lifted by her spiritually, a lover that can fulfill her, make her happy, not for a month, not for a year, but truly for a lifetime. The essential quality for such a man is presence. If a man cultivates presence, this is the heart of masculinity in Tantra. It is not the only quality that men are encouraged to cultivate, but it is definitely among the most important, arguably the most important. Presence, super important, hard to define, like consciousness. Yeah, in science is the hard question of science. Not much progress into the nature of what is consciousness. Presence is the outlet of consciousness, at least as we define it here for the sake of this presentation and as we define it in our courses. When we are conscious of something, then we are present to that. When we pay attention, then we are present with that. That is presence. In Hebrew, paying attention to sumat lev is the putting of the heart. When you put heart. And the heart in this case is a reflection of consciousness. So consciousness, attention, presence. Yeah? If I am conscious or attentive to my beloved, I am present to her. If I am conscious and attentive, yeah, from consciousness to attention to my work, I am present with my work. Doing the work that I do, teaching retreats and classes for more than a decade and doing psychology even longer than that, many women come to me to complain. And they complain that their lover, which is very often very sweet and very kind and loving, when it gets to intimacy, when it gets to the bedroom, at a certain moment, once he becomes very passionate, his lights go off, he becomes instinctual and he's no longer connected. And it feels very lonely, and I can imagine it feels really not good if this man that you felt very good and felt to open and to share such vulnerability and such intimacy, and you kind of take the risk of opening to that person, and then in the moment where it's most important that he would be there, present, he collapses. He does no longer love, no longer heart connection, no longer attention to the other person, but some kind of instinctual movement and a collapse of the consciousness inside into a kind of boyish state, a kind of perhaps like a masturbation state, but no longer a presence with a woman. If we are serious as men in our wish to be good lovers, to do something good to our beloved, not to come and to take, but to do something good. The cultivation, conscious, intentional cultivation of presence is one of the most essential things. It's not that we are never present. We are always attentive, at least to a degree, to something, but that presence has different levels and it oscillates, it goes on and off. And presence can and should be cultivated. Meditation, spiritual practice, can be done through yoga, can be done through martial arts, qigong. Other forms of inner work, the work of Gurdjieff, self-remembering, all these things cultivate presence as such, and it can be done simply intentionally. Remembering many times to be present, and particularly in the couple relationship. You see, it's valid very much also for purpose. How do we get skill in something? We become skillful in something because we are passionately interested. We are passionately enthusiastic about playing this musical instrument, about this computer thing, about this business thing, about this project, about public speaking, about being a doctor. Once we are passionately interested, enthusiastically interested, our attention will become sharp. We will be very present to that musical instrument, to that domain, to that project, and then we will attain skill. Skill is a byproduct of attentiveness or of presence. And the same, you see, a lot of men acquire skill for purpose, and that's how you can earn a proper living. If you have a skill, you get nicely, you can make a nice living off that skill. If you have very little skill, also the compensation will be proportional, and many men go for this challenge. But then when they come home to their beloved, it's like, no, this is an annex. I have done my effort. This is relaxation time. Can we please not talk about this now? Can we just have relaxing time now? And they collapse in the afternoon, in the evening, when they get home. The invitation of Tantra, no, you succeeded in purpose to gain a skill because you were enthusiastically, passionately interested. Be interested in your beloved as you were interested when you were courting her. And you will see that you will get a remarkable skill of presence. And when your woman would receive your presence, which comes with love, which comes with adoration, which comes with attraction, with a genuine interest in who she is, not just in what she can give me. You're interested in who she is. You're present with her as a whole, not just with a part of her that you like. You don't cut from a magazine. You are in contact with the whole being. You will see that when you are present like that with her, she will blossom and she will become genuinely interested. And you will have attraction after 2 years, after 5 years, after 10 years. And a love that will grow. And you will be super much more regenerated and happy than just being there and consuming something from the relationship as you get home. So the cultivation of presence is one of the key challenges of men in Tantra, and it can be accomplished. And I've seen many of our students, our colleagues, teachers, and I've seen in my own life how these things can happen and how wonderful and meaningful, and every effort that is done in this direction is worth it. I'm curious to hear both from men and from women, what's your experience with presence and How do you feel? When did you feel extremely present? What times in the day you feel quite absent? What are your challenges to grow in this direction? If you like this video and want to learn more about Tantra, about yoga, about psychology, emotional healing, lives of saints and the scriptures,
then hit the bell, like, subscribe, and you'll never miss an upload. Thank you so much.